Hi there, welcome to No Nonsense Whiskey. My name is Vin PF, and on today's episode we've got another geek episode. We're covering another single malt whiskey society bottling. This time we've got 58.31. Now if you haven't caught any of my other SMWS bottling videos, I'll do a quick rundown on what this all means. Unfortunately it's a members only club, but you can join at any time, and then you get access to all of their single cask bottlings. Now, they grab these casks, they chuck them into bottles when they think they're ready. They get a team of people to create the tasting notes and the crazy titles. This one, in fact, is called Buried Alive, as in a fruity berry, which it's not the most outlandish name I've ever heard. The tasting notes are very amazing. A bit too much for me, so I don't try to quote any of them at any time, but you can go and check them out on the website at any time. These codes are what tell you which distillery it is if you want to know. You can keep it a complete secret, you can just drink it and be happy, but it's the 58th distillery that they have bottled from and the 31st time that they have bottled from that distillery. I do know what distillery it is, but I won't tell you on here. If you want to know, you can go and look up on one of the many websites that kind of spoil that for you if you like. What I can tell you is that I've never covered a whiskey from this distillery on the channel yet, but I'm certainly going to be interested after trying this one. Now, the best thing about the SMWS is they give you so much more information than the average distillery gives you on the bottle. For instance, we know that this is a 12-year Speyside. It's got a very high ABV of 59.1%, which is right in my favourite ballpark. I said 12-year-old, and its cask type, they've put it down as a second fill Chenin Blanc Barrique. But they also tell us that that's actually just a finishing cask. 2 years. So the first 10 years were just in a normal ex-bourbon hogshead. And then they transferred to the Chenin Blanc, which is a white wine, and let that kind of settle in and give some extra flavours. I think, as well, I'm not entirely certain, but I think it might be the first time I've covered something that's finished in a white wine cask as well, which is kind of awesome. I do like white wine. It's not my favourite of the wines, but it's something different for the channel. I think I might have maybe covered a weird one a couple of years ago. Anyway, moving on. Now, the other thing that they do is price well. This one is £59. Now, if you track the distillery and look at their 12-year-old, it is a bit cheaper, but then it's certainly not 59.1%, and it's certainly not single barrel. Let's get into the nose and see what we think about this whiskey, shall we? Now this one here it's such an awesome nose. It's sweet, and I wrote in my tasting notes a bit fizzy, which is, I know it's a rubbish tasting note, but the overall kind of impression that I got from the nose was it's like sticking your nose in a bag of Haribo Tanfastics. I don't know if you get them worldwide, but we get them in the UK. You definitely get them in America. But it's one of my favourite kind of jellied sweets, if you like. It's got that sugary around the outside of it. Really good, really good. It's one of those ones, chuck them in and it goes, yes. But it's just like that. Sweet, but almost effervescent in its smell, which is not a smell. So, just ignore me on that one, but you'll get it if you ever smell this thing. Let's try on the palate. Now, I have to say, that's my favourite bit about SMWS bottlings, because you can't really smell ABV. You might get an idea that it's a stronger whiskey than, say, a 40% just by the waft of alcohol, but you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It's strong or not strong, that kind of thing. But the taste is where it really, really kicks off with this thing. It's an immediate kind of pepperiness to it, immediate spiciness to it, followed directly by this amazing kind of fruity ensemble of all this weird stuff together. But the top two things are definitely like kind of citrusy, orangey vibe to it, almost like a marmalade, dare I say, and a bit of apricot as well, which is kind of weird, but it's in there. The only time I've ever caught apricot on another whiskey was the Highland Park 21 year. Probably put a link to the review up there, but it's one of my favourite whiskies ever, and there's apricot on the back end of that. The finish is massive, but it's warming and sweet. Not sickly sweet, but sweet. Really leaves your mouth desiring more of it. I say sometimes on the channel you get this kind of soury or bitter or dry taste. And I always find that kind of, it makes you want a bit more, but only because you want to get rid of that taste. This makes it's like moreish. You finished it, you think, oh, that's really tasty. That I quite fancy a little bit more, and that's exactly what this does. A tasty, tasty dram. If you're a member of the SMWS, go and check them out and see if you can get hold of this. I think there's a few bottles left. Last time I checked. If you're not a member, why not join? It's Christmas time. Check them out.